All right, what is up, everybody? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you some NBA player prop best bets for today, Monday, January 16th. Appreciate everybody who's watching this. If you are, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. Helps me out a ton. If you want to find me on social media, you can at my Twitter handle you see on the screen here, Jedi Modi. Let's get into it. So all of these plays I find using the OddsJam positive expected value page. Using the OddsJam positive EV page gives you an edge over the sports books that you're placing the bet with. That part, getting an edge, is imperative if you want to actually make money sports betting. If you're just doing it for fun, you're not betting that much money, different story. If you actually would like to make a profit using, betting on sports, you want to make a profit betting on sports, then you need to have some sort of edge over the sports books. OddsJam gives you a great edge. So the first play that I'm going to lock in here, and I can kind of talk to you about how everything works, is Lamelo Ball under 3.5 made three-pointers. I know he shoots a lot. 4 three-pointers is also a lot. And the math is telling us that you're getting a good play on him to go under. I didn't say that he's likely to go under, but that you're getting a good play on it. The play is at plus 115 odds at BetRivers. I know that this is the positive EV play because it's bolded with the blue rectangle around it. So whenever you are using the positive EV page, whatever play is bolded with the rectangle, that is the positive expected value play. So the math behind it and the reason why we have an edge is because of the numbers in these no vig odds column that you see here. So OddsJam calculates the no vig line on this to be just below plus 111. And this part's incredibly important to understand because it kind of helps you understand why the positive EV tool is so valuable. But look at this screen and what you see on this this page right here, right? We're looking at Lamelo Ball and where every sportsbook prices his three-pointers at. So we know that our play is on the under 3.5 at plus 115. But just look at how different the odds range on this play. We see odds range up to plus 115, down to looks like minus 110. That's a 25-cent gap between sportsbooks for the same exact play, right? Pretty big gap. So with numbers that are that far apart, one sportsbook has to be right, one has to be wrong. It's as simple as that, right? They both can't accurately reflect the market with such a wide gap between the two numbers. So with that thought in mind, that one has to be right, one has to be wrong, there are some sports books that are consistently better than others at pricing odds. Some sports books that are consistently sharper than others at pricing odds. So what OddsJam did was, okay, if we're under the assumption that some sports books are better than others, what OddsJam did was they back-tested thousands and thousands of betting opportunities to determine what sports books are the sharp ones, right? Use that historical data over a large period of time, large sample size, large sample time, to say, okay, the data is telling us these, let's call it 5, whatever. I'm not saying that's the amount, but just for ease of numbers. 5 sports books are consistently the best at pricing odds. OddsJam takes the odds from those 5 sports books and uses a weighted average to pull up what they price markets on current betting opportunities. So basically saying these 5 are consistently the sharpest. We're going to use them to set the market moving forward, and anywhere in which we can get better odds on another sportsbook is going to be mathematically profitable. And that's exactly what's happening here. Lamelo Ball, the OddsJam perfect line, the true line of this is at plus 111 essentially. We're getting it at plus 115. The gap between these two numbers is your profitability. The bigger the gap, the higher the percent here on the left. This percent can be viewed as your theoretical profit margin, can be viewed as your percent edge over the sportsbook. So play number 1, Lamelo Ball, under 3.5 made threes. Play number 2, we are looking at Marcus Smart over 25.5 points, rebounds, assists. So this is at plus 106 odds at Caesars. OddsJam perfect line prices this at about plus 102. And let's chat about this one. So the plus 106, we're getting on Caesars. Another thing that you want to do when you're positive EV betting, you shouldn't just blindly bet every single play here on the positive EV page. Like I ended up not betting this Draymond Green one for this exact reason. You want to compare the bet you're placing. So again, bolded, rectangle around it, Marcus Smart over 25.5 PRA. You want to compare the odds of the bet you are placing, which is plus 106 right here, and look at the rest of the sports books and where they price this market at. Basically, what you're trying to do here is make sure that the bet you are placing is a true outlier over the rest of the betting markets. In this case, the answer is yes. We're getting it at plus 106. The closest book is DraftKings at plus 105. And then you want to look at, when you're betting on player props, and this is also true for other markets as well, but the sharp sports books that you want to compare to are Pinnacle and BetOnline. So if you're betting on a play that's an outlier to those two sports books, that's probably a good sign for your profitability moving forward. I'm not saying you're going to win every single bet, but that more often than not, you will make money by placing those types of bets. Pinnacle at minus 120, BetOnline at minus 112. Caesars is all the way up at plus 106. And like I said, the closest book is DraftKings at minus 105. And the reason why you're looking for outliers, it's as simple as this. Every other sportsbook that is pricing the Marcus Smart PRA at 25.5 is essentially charging more money for the over. They're making it more expensive to buy. Every single book except for Caesars. So what's the most likely scenario here? That every single sportsbook outside of Caesars has this incorrect and that it should be priced for a more expensive amount? Or, and this is the Occam's razor version, Caesars just has this one mispriced. If every other sportsbook is telling you this is more expensive than Caesars, then that you should hit that Caesars line. They're paying you more money than every other sportsbook for this individual bet. Now, I'm not saying that this play is a lock. I'm not saying that he's guaranteed to hit. I'm just saying that this is a mathematically profitable betting opportunity. And if you place the higher volume of mathematically profitable bets, the better that you will be in the outcome, in the long run, in terms of betting. So that's why you want to look for outliers. And this is play number 2, Marcus Smart over 25.5 PRA. Next up, we're back to Bet Rivers. We're looking at Derek White to go over 3.5 rebounds. The OddsJam perfect line prices this at almost exactly plus 113.5. We are getting it at plus 117. So there you go. There's your gap. There's your profitability. In terms of an outlier, Bet Rivers prices this at plus 117. There are 2 books that are kind of close, especially one in FanDuel at plus 110, kind of close. PointsBet, not as close, 12 cents lower at plus 105. But then look across the board, the markets, especially the sharp ones. Pinnacle, minus 103. BetOnline, minus 101. Every other book, minus 106, minus 105, plus 100, minus 101. They all have it kind of clustered together between, it's like minus 105 and plus 105. And Bet Rivers is giving it to us all the way up at plus 117. So again, Bet Rivers is giving us the quote unquote the cheapest price for Derek White to go over 3.5 rebounds compared to every other sportsbook. So Bet Rivers probably just has this mispriced. They probably just haven't updated their lines quickly enough to reflect the rest of the sportsbooks. So we're going to take advantage of that. Play number 3, Derek White over 3.5 rebounds. Next up, we are looking at, and again, skipping these 2 plays because I don't think that they're a big enough outlier when you compare every other sportsbook. Next up, we are looking at Trey Young under 26.5 points. The play is at minus 105 at Bet Rivers. OddsJam perfect line prices this about 2.5 cents higher at minus 107.5, minus 107.46, whatever. Bet Rivers, again, we want to look for the bet we are placing. Look at the rest of the sports books at minus 105. Looks like BetOnline at minus 123. You can ignore Monkey Knife Fight, Underdog, and Prize Picks because these are DFS companies. So they have the same exact odds for every single play. So it looks like Pinnacle doesn't have odds for this one yet, but every other sportsbook seems to be in alignment that this should be at about minus 120, if not higher. So we see odds range. Again, BetOnline kind of used as a source of truth at minus 123. Literally every other sportsbook that is pricing this prices it closer to the BetOnline line at minus 123. Play number 4, Trey Young under 26.5 points. And I think I have one more. Yep, one more here. Jason Tatum over 32.5 points, minus 107 odds at Bet Rivers. So OddsJam perfect line prices this just below minus 108. So smaller gap, but still a gap nonetheless, still profitable. Bet Rivers at minus 107. Pinnacle, minus 126. Bet Online, minus 123. DraftKings, minus 125. Every other sports book, no book has it looks like below minus 120. So this is a really good bet. This is my fifth and final play for today's video. Jason Tatum over 32.5 points. And that's going to be it. So I appreciate everybody watching. If you are, again, I mentioned it at the beginning, please like and subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. Helps me out a ton if you have been enjoying this content. And then if you're tailing, just comment and let me know. You can hit me up in the comments or on Twitter. But that's it. So enjoy the slate tonight and have a good one.